Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kiana, but on here I go by the Modern Sim, and welcome back to another episode of Melomania. Before we get into this episode, I would first like to thank you guys so much for all of the love and support on the initial episode. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect people to tune in as much as you guys did and care and leave all those kind and beautiful messages that you guys did leave. I've been working on that for a very long time, and because of all the delays and stuff, I thought, a lot of people were just kind of over it, but to see that you guys really enjoyed how it all came together and stuff like that really means a lot to me, and I'd like to thank you guys again so much. I'm super excited to start this new LP. I've been working on it for a very long time, and to see it all come together and all of you guys enjoy it is really a big treat to me. So with that being said, at the end of the first episode, I asked you guys either having both of them in each episode or alternating between the two, and majority of you guys said to have them in both episodes, and that is exactly what I'm gonna do. Some episodes I do foresee me doing an exclusive Lauryn episode or exclusive Miles episode or something like that, but I do honestly want both of them in each episode, and I want to see what we can really come up with. And I will say this LP has a lot of background and story and things like that, unlike my other LPs. This series will be a nice mix of having a storyline but kind of just letting the game do what it do and just seeing where it takes us. And then lastly, before we get into the episode, I will say this series will incorporate a lot of cinematic moments. You'll see what I'm talking about as we get through this episode. Don't want this intro to be any longer than it needs to be, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so we are starting this episode off with Lauryn. It's currently Sunday morning, almost noon. Lauryn is at a ballet dance studio waiting for her friend Sydney to get out of practice. So this is where we start this episode off. I don't think this episode is going to be super heavy with anything. I really want this episode to be very chill as we get to introduce you guys to a few more people. Her mom is calling. Let's go to the flea market and see if we can find any rare treasures, and by that I mean awesome junk. I'm gonna have to say no right now, Mom, partially because we're about to go see her mother really soon. So yeah, I don't think this episode is gonna be super heavy, just introducing you guys to the people who you need to be introduced to, and one of those people is Lauryn's best friend. Alright, so this is Sydney Robbins. She is Lauryn's childhood best friend, and they've known each other since around elementary school when Lauryn's mom ended up moving back in with her mother, Josephine. And the two have pretty much been besties ever since then. Sydney is a dancer. She's been dancing ever since she was a little girl. She is professionally trained in ballet, and currently with Lauryn, she attends the University of Foxbury. She is on the dance team. She got a scholarship there. I think that's pretty much all you need to know about Sydney for right now, other than the fact that she comes from money, okay? In my mind, she kind of reminds me of, if you've seen Princess and the Frog, she kind of reminds me of Lottie.
I was starting to think that wishing on stars was just for babies and crazy people.
That upbeat best friend who's always down for Tiana, sincerely loves her and wants the best for her and will do anything for her. So that's how I imagine their dynamic, just a little bit. Not saying that Lauryn is really I guess the word you could say poor. Not saying she's that, because she's definitely not that, but they have two different financial backgrounds growing up. So this is Sydney. So as you can see, Sydney and the other girls are currently practicing a little bit. The practice gets out in the next 10 minutes or so we won't be here much longer, but every now and then Lauryn will come down to the dance studio to just watch her friend, practice and stuff like that, especially if they have plans afterward, which they actually do. I think I'm gonna give them till 12 to continue to practice. Side note, I quickly want to say that I am extremely proud of this lot. This is one of the multi-purpose lots that I have in this save. Building up and trying to still furnish and stuff like that. It's very much a work in progress still. But one of the parts of this build is I wanted to have a dance studio. And I have the main classroom. This is supposed to be there that man is. This is supposed to be the area where they can buy ballet clothes and stuff like that. This is the, locker room, bathroom area. So Yes, but this is very simple build. I was gonna download the one by Rhea, but I just didn't feel like downloading all that CC and adding to my game. Like, my game, she can only take so much, okay? She can only take so much. I'm gonna go ahead and let them out actually early, so I'm gonna stop the gathering and unlock this door, because I did lock the door because I didn't want them getting out. That sounds so bad, but it's the truth. So we don't really have too much on the agenda for today. It seems like the girls have finally gotten out of practice. I will introduce you guys to like the rest of the girls later, because Lauryn definitely does know these ladies and have known them for a while, but we'll introduce you to them later. I'm gonna have Lauryn and Sydney go ahead and travel to the nearby cafe just to have a quick chat, because Lauryn does definitely have a couple other things to do today that we will get into later. So I will see you guys at the cafe. So we officially made it to the cafe. Right now Lauryn is about to order herself something to drink, and she's about to, chat with Sydney for a while. It's actually been a minute since her and Sydney have had much discussion, much chatter, and we'll get into that in a minute. But so currently everyone in university is on winter break. Girl, if you don't, Sydney, don't make me mad. Don't make me mad. I think it's funny. You can see the Brown family are here at this coffee shop. I wonder where we see Miles. In my previous testing, like playing around in this save, I rarely see Miles out and about. Like, I see his family all the time, but Miles, he just be at home. But we'll discuss that later. So Lauryn and Sydney haven't really had much discussion time as of late, and not because they're like ignoring each other or anything like that, but because Sydney, oop. Hey, I heard you became good friends with Christine Curran. She's pretty cool. Matt's so texting us right now. Sydney, if you don't sit your booty down. Anyways, they haven't really chatted much. Not because they don't want to, but because Sydney has been out of town. Like I said earlier, her family has money, okay? So, like, it's winter break, and so her and her family have just been, like, out of town. They've been somewhere warm and sunny, okay? And so this is Lauryn's time to kind of catch Sydney up on, like, what's going on with her, some discoveries she's made, especially considering, why we're starting this LP. Sydney, sit down. Sydney, you're finna get jumped. Okay, thank you. So first, I'm thinking I'm gonna have Lauryn, like, kind of check in on her and be like, how's things going? How was your vacation? Like, yeah, vacation was good. Dad, his dad, very popular. Once the ladies find out he has money, Girl, if you are trying to leave.
I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done.
Sydney, please sit your tail back down. Oh my gosh, you're about to get jumped. Anyways, so Sydney's like, enough about me, okay? So, like, what's been going on with you over this break? Like, what's happened? And Lauryn's basically filling her in, like, yeah, so I'm thinking about dropping out of school. And Sydney's like, dropping out of school? Like, what do you mean dropping out of school? She was like, not completely dropping out of school, but, like, maybe dropping out of school for biology. Like, I realized that, like, I just kind of been, like, wasting away, and I'm not passionate about it. Is that Miles? Hold on, wait. No, that's not Miles. That's not Miles. Okay. I actually don't want them to run into each other for quite a bit of time, but she's like, okay, so, like, what has brought about this revelation? And she's like, on New Year's Day, I was working, Brian had me get up on stage and sing, and I just felt so free and alive, And she's like, okay, so what does that mean? She's like, it means that I don't want to go to school for biology. I think I want to change my major, but, because of the break, I can't get in contact with anyone at the office or anything like that, so we'll see. But that's what I'm thinking about doing. That's pretty much the tea, And by the way, I'm sorry if you hear any, like, noise in the background. As I'm recording, they're currently working on our landscaping, our grass. So if you hear that is why. But basically, Sydney is very happy for Lauryn, and it's like, I'm so proud of you that you came to this decision, because I knew that, like, I didn't want to say anything, but I knew this wasn't what you really want to do. But I like to let people make their own decisions, figure things out and things like that. But have you told your family? And she's like, oh, I'm actually going to talk to them, later today, actually in a few minutes. So after this, I'll be heading over there to chat with my family, which honestly we need to get a move on it soon though, because it's already 4:30 and Lauryn has other plans later tonight. So basically Sydney's like, you know what, you're so right, like I gotta go head out anyway, but it was nice chatting with you, like I'll see you soon, girl. I really did want them to hang out just a little bit more, but it is evident that Sydney just wanted to go home. Okay, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and have Lauryn head to her grandmother's house, and I will see you guys when we get there. So we have officially made it to the Rhodes residence in Willow Creek, where, you know, Lauryn is here to talk to her family since it is Sunday evening. Lauryn usually comes over here every Sunday night or evening to, you know, hang out with her family and things like that. Her grandmother is very I don't want to say religious, but her grandma be going to church, and so she don't they don't really hang out earlier in the day because her granny definitely be praising the Lord. This is usually the time she comes over, usually Saturday nights. Lauryn works, so she's never really up in time for service in the morning. So I'm gonna have her hug her mom, like, hey mom, hey girl, hey Brandy. Which, you know, is so funny. I love Brandy so much, but originally there was going to be no Brandy in this LP. And what I mean by that is I initially had it to where like Brandy didn't exist, or she did exist, but Brandy passed away. Like that was going to be the story. Like Lauryn's mom passes away, and so she's like really close to her grandmother. But the funny thing is, as I was creating Brandy in cast, I was creating the whole family, and I was like, I don't want to kill her off. Like she just looks so sweet, and I just like her story just seems so like beautiful or whatever, or like what I had planned for her. Like I just felt like I just didn't want to kill her off. So Brandy's here, and I already have one deceased mother in my other LP, Unfinished Business, which if you haven't seen, I suggest you go check it out, because I will get back to posting that series. It's just that series takes a lot of effort and time that I honestly did not have, but she will be back because I do love the LP or whatever. But I was like, we already have one deceased mother, we can't have two, so I'm just gonna have her sit and hang out with her mother and her grandmother for a little bit. Eventually I feel like she's gonna break the news of her like decision. Did the grandmother cook? Oh my gosh, she cooked. Oh my god, Sunday dinner. And I honestly did not expect Granny to be out here actually throwing down before we even got here, but like, that's Mama Rhodes for you. So we're gonna have her greet her grandmother as well, and I feel like I did a pretty good job on Josephine, because she's really giving like the older ladies that I grew up seeing at church and, you know, in the South. Like that's what she just gives me. Like that's what Josephine gives me, and I just, every time I see this lady, she takes me out. Like I can't wait for y'all to see her church fit, because it is so it's so real. Okay, like, hey grandma, how you been? She's like, oh, you finally came to see your old grandma. Grandma, I come to see you every week. Like, how are you doing? How was church today? And she's like, I'm about to start laughing because I'm pulling from all my inspiration around the people that I grew up around. What a word that was given today. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. But like, it's just so real. I would also like to say sorry about the lag, guys. My game, I updated my game. Granny, what are you doing? Listen to rumor. This is giving, for real, this is giving church ladies, because dumb church ladies, they be gossiping. Likes the session. Lauryn seemed to respect the skill it took for Josephine to craft such a devious lie. Deception can be hard to pull off, but it sure can keep a conversation fun and full of mischief. I don't know if I should say she likes deception or not, but like, I think Lauryn likes the gossip. She likes the tea, okay? So I'm gonna say yes, but if this becomes a problem, I will delete this like, okay? But we all know that this conversation is definitely about to turn on both ends, honestly. But Josephine's like, oh, okay, now that you're here, I was talking with Miss Hendricks, and you remember Miss Hendricks, from the church. Well, turns out she got a grandson who's right about your age. She's like, Granny, like, please, Grandma, please. I'm not trying to date anybody. Like, are you trying to say, no, I'm just, just, he could be a nice boy, a very, very nice boy, from what I hear he is. She's like, Grandma, like, I'm not thinking about dating right now. Like, I'm okay. I'm good right now. And she's like, just trying to make sure you pick a nice boy. Ken, oh my gosh, speaking of boys, but, March Betancourt? Absolutely not. I literally just saw her today. I'm sorry. This is Ken. This is Lauryn's next door neighbor. And she actually has a little bit of history with him. That is more than just being neighbors. We'll definitely discuss that later. But hey, Lauryn, I think March Betancourt is pretty cute. Should I ask her out? I'm gonna say no. I don't think that's a good idea. And not because I want you, babe. But anyway, so Josephine is basically trying to set, Lauryn up and be like, you're getting a little older. When I was your age, I was already married, and I was expecting your mom, and she was like, Grandma, like, we're way past that time. Like, not everyone's settling down and getting married so early. She's like, well, it's definitely time you start thinking about it. And she was like, Grandma, like, I actually came to talk to you and Mom about something pretty serious. And she's like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna have her discuss her interests with her, reaffirm her love, and be like, you know how much I love you and Mom, and I respect each of you guys' opinions and what you guys think, but I've been doing a lot of thinking about, my future and what I really want out of life, and I realize I am not that passionate about school right now. And Josephine's like, girl, if you don't just go ahead and spit it out, like, we do not have all day. And Lauryn's like, Lauryn, if you don't sit down, Lauryn, sit down. Vent about insecurities. Let's just do that. She's like, I want to drop out. Or not really drop out, but I just want to pursue something different. Like, she's like, what do you mean, pursue something different? She's like, I'm not passionate about what I'm in school for. Like, I'm getting a biology degree, and I really could care less. Like, I just doing it because, I want to do what's good for you guys, like, for what I want to make you guys happy, but I realized that I'm just not happy. And her mom's like, well, what do you want to do? And she's like, Mom, like, I want to be like you. And Josephine's like, well, your mom's a nurse. She's like, no, like, I want to be like you. Like, I want to sing. Like, I love music. I always have. And I want to pursue that. And basically, like, I feel like Josephine is not sold on it because, she comes from that generation where it's like, you need to be doing something, getting your degree in something. Like, chasing music is not a viable career opportunity, not a viable career path, unless she's like, look at, how your mom turned out. Like, even she came to her senses, eventually. But music is not a path. And she's like, Ken, what do you want? Oh my gosh, not my student loans due. This is funny. Okay, we're gonna ignore payment for right now, but I can imagine, like, her mom, like Josephine, being like, well, you already took out a bunch of student loans for that, so you might as well just continue to go down the biology sect or whatever. She's like, that's not what I want to do. I think Brandy has to definitely be the voice of reason. Brandy is the type to support her daughter in in all her endeavors, and like, she's like, if you don't want to go to school for biology and find something to do, like, girl, do what you want to do. Like, life is too short to be worried about what we think about you. I feel like for Lauryn, that is definitely, like, probably a relief to hear. Josephine's like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I'm just gonna, since my opinion doesn't matter, I'm just gonna go ahead and exit the room. And so I could just imagine, like, Josephine just be like, you know what, I'm just going to bed. Like, I'm not entertaining this foolishness. Like, that's what I imagine Josephine reacting right now in this moment. So she loves her granddaughter. She wants the best for her granddaughter, but in her mind, like, she thinks going to school and getting a job is the best outcome. So I think the conversation is pretty much done. Brandy is pretty much on board with Lauryn wants to do. She always has. She loves her daughter, and she just wants what's best for her. And if this is what makes her happy and this is the dream that she wants to pursue, then, like, she's not going to get in the way of her daughter's, dreams, because she knows how that feels. She does not want to be her mother in that sense. So I think this is enough. It's already 9:04 and she already has plans for later tonight. We'll discuss in another episode actually, but I think I'm going to go ahead and have her head out for the night. I'm going to go ahead and have her send a quick text to somebody. This is pretty much where I'm going to end Lauryn's part of this episode. Goodbye, Mom. I'll see you later. I'll definitely call and text you when I get home and whatnot. He's like, don't let whatever what your grandma said get to you. Like, you'll be fine. Just follow your dreams. And I think Gshade said to me, I really value the time we spent together. I think it's made us closer than ever. Oh, that is so sweet. I love that Brandy and Lauryn are like really close to each other. So she's like, all right, baby, I'll see you later. Don't be a stranger. But just know that, pursuing this life of this career doesn't always work out. So just letting you know, I wouldn't be your grandmother if I didn't let you know. Alright guys, so this is all for Lauryn's part in this episode. The next thing you're about to see is a cinematic, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the episode, where there'll be a few cinematics sprinkled here and there. I really hope you guys enjoy it because I think it's cute, and you're about to be introduced to another character that you kind of have been already introduced to earlier in this episode, just a little bit. But alright, so Lauryn is about to head out because she has plans with a late night visitor. Every time I think you're gonna walk out of my door, I start to jump to the conclusion you don't love me no more. Babe, give me something to work with, can you just reassure me? I'll end it before it starts. Call it protecting my heart. Hurt disguised as strength, but Alright, so it is the next morning. We are picking up with Miles and the Brown family. Miles Sr. thought it would be a great idea to have all the kids over for a little breakfast. Have the whole family together and just enjoy each other's company. Now, I don't have anything particularly planned or any expectations for this morning meetup with the Brown family. I just want Miles to mingle, catch up with his siblings and things like that. That is pretty much the vibes going into our gameplay with Miles. Alright, so everyone's just kind of like chatting at the table, catching up. They're not really talking about much. It really means a lot to me that you make time for me. Just wanted to let you know. Oh, that's so sweet. Siblings gaining sentiment. I think I'm gonna go ahead and have Miles Sr. call everyone over here to eat. Earlier I had him make some chocolate crepes. So I guess everyone can eat a serving together and then everyone can get their own drinks. Bella, every time I leave Bella alone, she is getting sprayed. Every time she keeps coming to this bush over here. Ooh, guys, the lag today is unbearable. Okay, so I'm gonna have him chat with his sister. How have you been? How have you been, you know? How's work? She's like, work is work. It's good. I've been doing great. Thanks for asking. Life is good. I bet it is, Kimberly. I bet it is. If you remember from the first episode, the stuff that she be getting into, I bet life is good, Kimberly. Real good. I'm sorry. Gossip about neighbors. So I feel like she's just like catching it up on like what's been happening in the area. Like, oh my gosh, you remember such and such from high school? Yeah, she's actually like engaged. And he's like, good for her. Good for her. Give some money to Miles. So you're back because you're broke, aren't you? It's like, no, I'm not back because I'm broke. I have plenty of money. Then why are you living with mom and dad? Because I just need a place to go really quickly. Didn't have time to go get me a whole apartment. It's like, it's okay if you need money. Like, it happens to like the best of us. Like, you know, I can expect, you know, with your lifestyle. I'm sorry, she's smelling the dog. I expect with your lifestyle, you probably ran through all that cash you got, but you know, it's okay. If you need money, I got you. Miles has learned the following traits about Kimberly. She's a perfectionist. And I think she low-key likes having, I guess, something over Miles in a way. Like, I can give you money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the type of person Kimberly is. Like, she gets self-satisfaction from helping people, but not in that way. Like, from like necessarily the kindness of her heart, you know? I think I'm gonna have her ask about his love life. How's your love life? Like, so how's your love life? Like, what's going on there? Like, obviously she's thinking like it must be pretty poor. And I just love how the dad's just like standing in the background trying to listen to the conversation. It's the trash. Bella, you gotta go. You stink. Oof. Express admiration. I feel like Miles is trying to like change the subject, but like, yeah, my love life's cool, whatever. The family definitely does know about Nyla and how like serious of a relationship they were in, but they try not to pry. But like, she definitely wants to know, and like definitely the mama want to know too. Like, you know, what did happen to Nyla? Like, what happened there? If Kimberly will say something like, but like he probably ran her away or something like that. Like, Kimberly just like, she likes to tease her brothers. Give huge amount of money. Ugh. Where is this money even going? Because like the total's not going up. I think this would be like his cue to be like, you know, actually, you know, let me go check on Clyde. Like, where's Clyde? But like, honestly, where is Clyde? I think he'll try to like, I don't know, make a joke and be like, just to get out that conversation. Like, hey, Clyde, how are you? How are you doing? And Clyde, wait, why are you... Clyde, I don't know what it is, but like every time I'm with Clyde, he's always like either tense or uncomfortable, and like he seems like he's pretty like in a good mood. But what is going on? Are they about to hug or something? We each other a little bro hug. That's so cute. Please don't tell me you're about to go to the bathroom. I feel like this is such an older sibling thing to do, for him to try to like get out of this. Like, Clyde, you don't get your butt back here, honey. Well, since you're here, Kimberly, can you give the dog a bath, please? He's like, I just have to get up out of there. I can just imagine, like, thank you, bro. He's like, I called you over there so I can get up out of there, but you about to ditch me too? Like, he said, yeah, why do you think I barely come over here? And I live here. They are so cute. Like, he's like, it's really nice to see you back here, bro. Like, but, you know, why are you back here? I can just imagine Miles being like, you know, just things weren't good there anymore. Like, I just miss home and, you know, didn't feel like myself there. Miles, I think Miles is actually taller than Clyde. I'm gonna have to fix that. I didn't want that. I wanted it to be even height, but I think it's kind of cute though. What y'all over here talking about? She's feeling all flirty for being next to her boo. So they're chatting in the hall with them, have them come sit and chat in here. I'm sorry, but when did it get 3:08 p.m.? Time be flying by fast. But I think the brothers are gonna have, I don't want to say heart to heart, but like, I think Miles is gonna let him in on, have a deep conversation on like why he's actually back, you know. And I feel like he'll kind of like give him the rundown, like, yeah, you know, I found out, you know, that the guy, you know, Thornton Bailey, I found out that he basically been using me and like all this other stuff and like oblivious. I forgot Clyde is low-key oblivious. Not low-key, but like one of his traits is he's oblivious. So like I feel like some of this Miles is comfortable telling his brother because his brother's a little like in the air sometimes, and so like he can talk to him and not feel like he gonna go necessarily run back and tell like, you know, what's been going on. Or not saying Clyde is dumb or is unintelligent, because that's not the case, but you know what's really, you know, going on with, you know, the whole Nyla thing. Like when I met her that one time I flew out there, like she was nice, vent about relationships, and basically tells her like, you know, tells him like, you know, I thought everything was like going nice and well, whatever, and then she just wasn't into it anymore and she dumped me. And speaking of Nyla, if we hop into the relationship panel, you can see that oddly enough, Nyla and Miles have some type of friendship going, just a little bit. I don't think he hates her, but romantic wise, like, it's over. They're both bitter about the breakup. He's hurt and she feels guilty. So I feel like we'll definitely be seeing a little bit of Nyla. He's just telling his brother like what happened with Nyla and stuff like that. He's like, oh man, you know, I've been done dirty before, so I know all about that. And you know, Clyde definitely does, you know, the whole baby mama thing, which I feel like we'll get into. Not in this episode though. I think I'm gonna give them to around like 5 o'clock, even though this was just supposed to be a breakfast, but like it's nice to have the whole family gathering. The dog is clean. Is she in the pool? Oh, it's like the snow has melted. Okay. I'm gonna have him, Miles, come check on his niece. Technically I have them living in the like old apartment that the parents used to live in when they were younger, you know, just starting out their family, which is right next to the restaurant. So just check on his niece just a little bit, like, hey girly, not hey girly, but hey, how are you, child? Your drink is on the house. What? Give her a hug. I wish there was an interaction where he can give her money. Is there a money interaction? Oh, give money to Kennedy. We're like, hey, here's some money. How you been, little one? Who was saying this? Since we're family, it'd be really nice if I can move in with you. What do you think? Kimberly, why do you want to move in? Are you running from something? Like, what's going on? I'm gonna take this as like a joke, because I don't think Kimberly really would want to move in with her family. Like, I think she'd be making a joke at Miles and be like, since you let Miles move back in, like, can I move back in? Like, rent is expensive. Like, I can't. I don't think she really want to move in. I think Kimberly really does love her independence, her freedom. So moving back in with her family just doesn't seem right. After much deliberation, Miles doesn't want Kimberly to move in with him right now. But like, how's school? How you been? Oh, he gave her $300. Discuss interests. Like, what's been going on with you? Like, though it hasn't been that long since he's seen them, I wouldn't say, like, though he lives in Del Sol Valley, like, he's not like he just don't visit ever. but like it's been a minute. Like I would say it's been a couple of months. Like he didn't come back for Christmas or anything like that, and it wasn't until New Year's where he decided like, yeah, I'm moving back home with the family. Currently I actually like don't have a room for Miles. There's 3 bedrooms. This is the guest room, which honestly technically Miles could stay in, but like his mama don't want him in there because this is the guest room. And then I don't know if you can tell, but technically this is Miles's old room. We have like the music set up, the posters, but currently this is the room they have dedicated to Kennedy when she comes to visit and stuff like that. So this is technically like Kennedy's room now. So technically Miles is staying in Clyde's old room. You can see like the fitness stuff, and he has his own bathroom and stuff like that, but like, yeah. And the easel, I don't know if I mentioned this, but like Clyde's like really good at art. All right, so Miles has been called back inside by his father. His dad wants to talk to him a little bit. Basically, Miles Sr. is like, all right, son, you know, I was talking to your sister Kimberly, and you know, she was talking about, you know, how she was just a little concerned that, you know, you were gonna waste away here, you know. And you know what? I thought the same thing, you know. And listen, you're a grown man. You can get your own apartment. But right now you're, you know, staying here with us. How thought-provoking, like deep thoughts. Thank you. I had the great idea. Why don't you come and, you know, pick up a couple shifts, at the restaurant, you know what I'm saying, since you're not doing anything right now, and, you know, you live in my roof, and, you know, you're not paying any rent, you know. I just thought maybe you should work for us. And of course, Miles loves his father, and he's not going to tell him no. Also, like, he's not going to tell him no, like, regardless. Like, Miles is like, yeah, you know what, I'll definitely pick up a couple shifts at the diner. Like, what's the harm in, you know, in that? And his dad's like, you know what, good. I'm glad we had this discussion. And I think it's time for everyone to go. It's already 6 o'clock. And I can imagine Kimberly's like, you know, it's actually time for me to go. You know, it's getting late. I got a couple things I gotta do. And you know, they're just thinking like, oh, she must gotta work. Kimberly's always busy working. Clyde is literally already walking out the door. He said, all right, y'all, I got things to do. Where do y'all have to be in such a hurry? I wonder. She walking out in her bathing suit. That's so funny. And now it's just 3, and I think this is actually where I'm going to end off this episode. I think this is a good stopping point. I just really wanted Miles and his family to chat, catch up, mingle. Okay, I'm gonna say, what is going on, Miles? Anyways, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I didn't expect to do much of anything. I just really wanted to be chill, to like, you know, progress the story along a little bit more, but like really just have, you know, Miles and Lauryn hang out with their friends and family and things like that. So that is all for this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for a little cinematic moment at the end. So, but anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Mm-hmm.